What is like from coming to America, like, and you're going to be going back to Sweden, like, what's your biggest takeaway from being here and studying here? Like, is there anything that you're going to take with you where you are like, wow, like that's really changed me in some way? Is there any like big takeaways for you from this whole experience?
Oh, that's a tough question.
That's a big question.
Well, there's several questions.
What changed your outlook on life?
Well, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Ooh. I mean,
You don't have to. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, like I'm a completely different person. But like, is there anything where you're like, wow, I'm not gonna forget that, and that's an experience that I will definitely take with me, or maybe being here, having to meet new people, maybe that, was a challenge, and maybe you overcame it somewhat and take that with you. I don't know. Like, is there anything, any like growth, like?
Yeah, I mean, like just moving abroad. I think that's a good thing for you personally. Like, oh wow, I could actually do this. I can actually leave my apartment back home, my family, my friends, my comfort zone whatsoever. I just left that to come here. I didn't know anyone. Well, I knew about Ida, but we were not that close. I didn't know if we were gonna be good friends or just so I mean, I think that's like personally that's like a big thing for me coming here and knowing like, oh, I could actually do it. I could go here. I could just like build my life here and go to school here, make friends, meet people. And I mean, like, it's like the school system here, it's a whole different one from back home as well. So like be able to adjust to that and like, okay, how do they do things here? Okay, they do it like this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just like, I think it's like a confident boost for yourself too, to feel like, oh, I could actually do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it turned out okay. It turned out fine. I mean, I'm not afraid to move abroad again. I mean, I could absolutely do that. Maybe not the U.S., somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, I would be like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That bar has been in front of your face the entire time. That's been distracting me, so, yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing, like, personally, I think.
Yeah, I think I would probably, like, talking about, like, self-confidence, like, boosting self-confidence when it comes to not only because people are so friendly and like really like a random person can give you a compliment at any time, which would never happen. It's like if you're talking to a stranger, you're kind of like, what are you doing?
People think something's up with you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like either you're like high or like really drunk or like
yeah, that's what that guy from New York the other night, he basically made New York seem like that. Like he said, don't talk to people. He was like, don't try to make small talk. It's not going to work out. They're going to think you're mentally ill or something, or trying to like pickpocket them or something.
Yeah. But I think it's like school wise, because the perspective here is more like you learn something to use it in the future in your work. Whereas in Sweden, it's like you learn the depth of all these different theories that you may or may not use ever. And you don't really know how to apply it to the real world. So like when you're actually, like we graduate this spring, so like we'll hopefully get a job and like try to apply all of our knowledge. But I feel like I've learned a lot more during this semester alone compared to like all the other years I've been studying back in Sweden, because it's a totally different mindset. People talk about salaries, people talk about how you're gonna get a job, what you're gonna do when you get a job, like everything. And I really appreciated that, because I feel like
I will never forget this when we had this class, and he was like, this is how you make money. This is how you're gonna make money. And then he was like, at the end of the class, he showed us like his first paycheck. Like, this is how much money I got from doing this kind of job. And I'm like, this is great. I mean,
was that electronic communication?
Yeah.
He showed me. He showed us the checks too.
I don't remember this, but
I remember this. I was like, this is great. I mean, this would never happen in Sweden. Like a professor would never come up there and like, okay, if you do like this, you can make more money. like if you do a job like this. I mean, that is great.
Yeah.
Like, that's good
All
to
these
know.
arguments was like, if you're a content creator, you're gonna make money.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
basically it.
that is like good to know.
Which was kind of
I mean, for your
kind of
students.
extreme, but like
But
I
still.
like the idea of like
Yeah.
having a more like mindset, like
more
to your
real life
actual
mindset. Yeah, not like, you know,
which I will try to like apply to Sweden too.
yeah,
Like try to see how this can help in the future.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. So I guess coming to college here in America, I guess America has a more practical mindset.
Yeah.
More like,
Yeah.
this is, you know, we can talk theories after class, but in
Yeah.
class, it's like, let's talk about stuff that we know works.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's really cool.